what we said, Shema Yasha'Allah, which is Hear, O Israel. Shema Yasha'Allah Ahaya, which is the Most High. Allah Hayanawa, our God. Akkad is one. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. That's what we said, and that credo comes from Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter and the 4th verse. Benjamin, what does that mean? Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
That Most High is, or Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God. Oh yeah, the three spirits of the Most High is one. Is that right?
And what are they?
I can't remember right now.
1 John 5 and 7.
We've got a Bible there now. Oh,
There's three that bear record in heaven: Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And those three are one. All right. First John 5 and 7. All right. Just to log it. All right. So those three, when it says the Lord our God is one, it's not just one power in operation. It's the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And we know the Holy Spirit is a feminine spirit.
Yeah, okay.
It's not a male spirit. The Holy Spirit is feminine. All right? And I know some people get confused with that when you read in John where it says, and they shall send you the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, and He shall give you understanding. When you look in the Greek, that He is not a gender, it's a kinos. So during the translation, they injected He. Why? Because Romans promote the spirit of homosexuality. You cannot bring life from two male powers. Life doesn't come from male. Life comes from male, female. Thou shalt be done in earth as it is in heaven. All right? So it's not he, it's a she. We probably tackle that a little later, but I wanted to go into Leviticus 20th chapter in the law to deal with, it says, the penalties for sin. Now, of course, as we mentioned in past teachings, that Christ was nailed to the cross. So, of course, we don't immediately deal with the judgment of whatever sin we might commit. That's the grace of Christ. Grace gives us a time period in which we can correct our sin before judgment. This real quick. I need you to get, before we go into the law of Leviticus 20, I need you to get Ecclesiastes 8. Ecclesiasticus 8. Let's read 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11.
Go ahead.
Because sentence against evil work is not executed speedily.
Read it again.
Because sentence against evil work is not executed speedily.
Because the sentence of an evil work is not executed speedily, which means somebody might do something that's unto death and get away with it. Because you're not judged like we were judged in the Old Testament. Read.
Therefore, the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
See that? So because something don't happen immediately to you, people believe that it's okay. That they can do the evil and it's okay. Alright? Read.
Verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him.
Because some people might look at a person who's doing wrong and evil and say, well, nothing is happening to him, nothing is happening to her, and they getting paid, they doing all that. They selling drugs, they killing people. Listen, if there's a God, why is he allowing this to happen? So they use that for a point of reference for atheists. But when you read this, it says, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, that means he did have long life or living long. Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. Read.
Verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not the Most High Ahia.
And it's only a shadow because the time we live in this short existence is very short, is very minute compared to how long your spirit survives after this, and you fall into the hands of the Most High. So anyone might think you're getting away with anything, but no one gets away with anything. That's why it says it's well with the Most High to fear him. Right? So just because judgment don't come immediately doesn't mean judgment will not come. Leviticus, the 20th chapter. How many verses we have here? We have 27. Okay. Okay, let's take 5 apiece here. You can begin.
Leviticus chapter 20 verse 1. And the Most High Ahia spake unto Moses, saying, Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel.
So this not only applies to the children of Israel, but Gentiles only. Okay, now I'm mentioning this because when you go to church or you're listening to what they're saying in modern day Christianity, they're making a claim that if I'm a Gentile, these things don't apply to me because I'm a Gentile. It says here, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, these are Gentiles. Let's get a precept so we can prove that. The strangers are Gentiles. Hold on, get Isaiah 11 and 1. Isaiah 13 and 1, excuse me. Hold on, let me get it here. Isaiah 14 and 1, that's it.
Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1.
Go ahead.
For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob.
He will have mercy on Jacob.
And will yet choose Israel.
He will yet choose the children of Israel.
And set them in their own land.
He will put Israel in their own land, proving to you that the Most High will set Israel in their land. There will not be a decree from the UN government to set Israel back up in the land. That decree don't come from man. It's the Most High who scattered us, and it's the Most High who will place us back in the land, not a UN decree. How can the Romans, who destroyed the children of Israel, set up a decree to restore the Israelites, when really they're restoring themselves? They're Romans there. So it says, read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
So the strangers shall be joined with them.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
They shall cleave to the house of Jacob. This is future tense. This hasn't happened yet.
Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High Ahia, for servants and handmaids.
So the Gentiles are going to be doing the menial things within the kingdom and help for the Israelites. No longer will the Israelites be doing, servitude work for the Gentiles. It's going to be in a reverse state. Not a forced state, but a righteous servitude. Not an evil and wicked servitude. Okay? In this society, they do all types of things with our people and with other people. They'll put you in some type of servitude or captivity. They be dealing with all types of raping people and pedophilia and all that. And that be part of what they do for servants. We're not going to be operating like that. We're going to be operating within the law. Read. And bring them to their place. Go ahead.
And bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High Ahiah, for servants and handmaids.
Now some people might think, well, this is wrong. This is not slavery. When you think of slavery, you think of forced servitude and someone treating you evil against the law. This is not slavery. Servitude is more indicative of you working. It's more indicative of your employment. For an agreement, you get something, and on the other side, you must do something. So, employment is not slavery, it's voluntary. So in order for these Gentiles to partake within the kingdom, which is a great payment, they're going to need to serve. They're going to have to make sure they clean up a lot of what they've messed up within this earth while the children of Israel were suffering. That's fair and equitable. But I went here to show you that the Gentiles, according to scriptures, are the strangers. It's not Israelites taking their own people and cleaving to their own people. This is speaking of Gentiles, okay? And this also speaks to some of the evil doctrines out there, ridiculing and talking against Gentiles. The Most High created Gentiles too, for His purpose. Okay? Finish reading.
Back to Leviticus.
Back to Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 2. Again thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Moloch, he shall surely be put to death.
Now read it again. Read that part again.
Whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Moloch, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he hath given of his seed unto Moloch, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name.
And to profane my holy name. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man, when he giveth his seed unto Moloch, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man, and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that go a whoring after him, to commit whoredom with Moloch, from among their people.
From among their people. So back then, you had a remnant of our people who was looking to give their children up for sacrifice to Moloch and worship the deities of Moloch. For those who don't know who Moloch is, or the god of Moloch, he's the god of the elite, ancient Babylonian, satanic Canaanite, ancient Canaanite deity, the owl. They have one in Bohemian Grove in San Francisco, where they do a mock child sacrifice to Moloch. It's called the cremation of care. This is where all your elites, your government officials, all the top sorcerers go there. They go there in reference to their god. This is the god it's speaking of. It's an ancient Canaanite deity that was worshipped also in Babylon. Okay, so when you see the all-seeing owl, or the owl, O-W-L, it's indicative of Moloch. An owl can see in the dark. So they're supposed to be the illuminate ones who can, even though everyone is walking in darkness, you have some amongst our population who can actually see what's going on, and they're controlling the satanic governments and powers of this earth. I'll read. Well, that's 5, right?
Mhm.
Through 10, please.
Verse 6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar
A familiar spirit. Dealing with familiar spirits. And you had a long line of people coming to figure out what was going on and can they talk to the dead and all those things. This is regular in society. The Most High wouldn't put these laws in the scriptures if these things were not so. If people were not dealing with these particular practices. So this is what separated the children of Israel, God, from every other gods out there. You have people now who, in these religions, they mask okay, and that is a practice. That is an actual craft. You notice they use the word craft. That is a craft. Witchcraft. And you notice actors. They say, well, I'm going to school to hone my craft. A lot of actors link in and connect to familiar spirits. You think they're acting, but all in all, they have opened themselves to that spirit. It's a craft, witchcraft. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards. Now let's examine a wizard real quick. A wizard deals with potions. Now this is a male witch. Now your modern day wizards, believe it or not, will be your doctors. You go to them and say, well, I got this hurting and that hurting, and they write you up a potion. When really, there's nothing in this earth that the Most High have grown this earth that cannot naturally keep you healthy. So there's a price for their potions. Usually, it's minimizing or decreasing lifespan. So there's a payment. They'll give you a quick fix, but it's for time. You see how they systematically placed all the things the Most High said don't do within society to the point where we all think it's normal? They've just integrated everything the Most High said don't do within society. This whole chapter is pretty deep because this whole chapter magnifies the construct of Satan's kingdom. It's as if the top sorcerers and elite got together and say, well, okay, let's take Leviticus 23. Leviticus the 20th chapter, and pattern our system to accept this behavior. We're going to make everyone on this earth believe that everything the Most High said in Leviticus 20. We're going to make everyone believe that it's good. to practice Leviticus 20. What verse you left off at?
To the end of 16.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Sanctify
Now,
yourselves.
notice, hold up. It says, notice, it says, and I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people. So there was an Israelite dealing with familiar spirits, wizards, dealing with disordinance into horoscopes, all that. They were immediately cut off from their people. Now, this, I don't want to just pass this. There's one thing I would like to say on this. There's one thing I would like to say. There's one thing I would like to make clear on this, okay? When it says here, to go a-whoring after them, and I will set my face against the soul, that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Notice that in Christianity, and I know because I was raised a Christian, they actually dissuade you from going into the Old Testament. But yet you could be a Christian and deal with horoscopes. I know Christians that go to see people to see if a root is on them or some type of thing is on them or somebody put a curse on them. All Christians do all this. But yet they're told to stay out of the Old Testament. This is why. So to some of the Christians' defense, to their defense, they don't even know better. They don't even know what's right or wrong because they have never read the laws. They don't believe in the laws, and their regular practice in life becomes a law unto themselves. So what they see their parents do and what others do, that's their law. See that? Finish reading.
Verse 7. Sanctify yourselves therefore, and be ye holy.
It says, clean yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy. You read?
For I am Ahia, your power.
For I am, that's Ahia. I am Ahia. I'm your power. I'm your God. I'm not Moloch. That's what he's saying there. I'm not the gods that you are going a-whoring after. I'm not the God of the Gentiles. Right? Read.
Verse 8. And ye shall keep my statutes and do them.
Close that. Now you let somebody else do it. Oh, let it go by. Let it go by.
Verse 8.
Read that again. Verse 8.
And ye shall keep my statutes and do them. I am the Most High which sanctifies you.
I am the Most High who cleanses you. Go ahead.
Verse 9. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death.
So there can't be someone who would look at their parents and say, I wish you would die. Or I wish you would get out. I wish. You have little brat kids that say stuff like that to their own mother and father. That was not heard of in Israel. If someone said something wrong to their parents, they would take you to the top of a mountain. The mother on one side, the father on the other. They'd be like, listen, let's go for a walk. I want to talk to you. And the next thing you know, they'll be swinging this guy or this girl off of the mountain. They would take each arm and you hear someone go, ah, and that's it. And then people in the congregation understood what it was. They were like, oh, okay. And children knew to respect their parents. Why? Because if you disrespect your parents, there's a good chance you're going to disrespect the Most High. You despise authority or dominion. So the first level of obedience the Most High put in your life to learn of Him is your parents. So if you disrespect your parents, why would you follow the God your parents follow? So there was rules put in place immediately to quell any type of disrespect towards the Most High and parents. Now you notice in society, you can't beat your children. Why is it? Why? Because they are programming your children from 5 years old up to be disobedient to the Most High and to disrespect you, but to love and respect government. This is how they're teaching the children now. They don't want parents to have the power over their children. So they put laws in place. Abuse. They call it abuse. Now that's if that's not confusing, who can be more abusive than government itself? You think when your children get taken from you and be placed in these institutions, that's to save the child? What is that? That's abuse. Right? Read.
Verse 9.
For everyone that curseth his father and his mother, read.
For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death.
Shall be surely put to death. It was immediate death in old time. Read.
He hath cursed his father or his mother. His blood shall be upon him.
His blood shall be upon him. Read.
And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife.
So a man that finds another man's wife and deal with her, read.
Even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress,
both of them
shall surely be put to death.
Shall what?
Shall surely be put to death.
That was the laws according to the Most High. Clean, to the point. No fudging, no asking questions. This is what it was. They hear something, a man hears something he had no business up in his house or around, and something, he would take his sword and he would run through both of them. Just like that. He would run through both of them with the sword into the bed, and then he would go get the Levites and all that. And see, here it is. And they would take the bodies and bury them. And either of the families had no issues. The adulterer or the adulteress's own family had no issues with just burying them. Okay? Now, you can't have a law like that within the United States or in the Western world. Where's your juicy rumors of this woman going here and this woman going here? And if you go online, every time, almost every couple of minutes, you hear this girl. I don't know who this Kardashian girl is, but every few minutes, she's with somebody else. And you see how the system glorifies this and magnifies this as something cool or cute. If you want to be on the scene and get recognized, you got to be out with Kim Kardashian. When in Israel, in old time, she would have been ran through. Right? I'm talking about with a sword. See, but this is the system our world promotes. Read.
Verse 11. And the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness.
Now here's something else. A man that lied, go ahead.
I'll read the next one.
You can read the next 5. Read.
Both of them shall surely be put to death.
A matter of fact, let him read these 5. Go ahead.
And the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death.
And a man that committed, it says, and a man that lieth with his father's wife have uncovered his father's nakedness, because that's a woman that only his father could see. Right? Read.
both of them shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them.
So there will be no such program as Jerry Springer, okay, in Israel days. Okay, God sleep with other people's, if the father has a girlfriend that the son is sleeping with and all that, that was unheard of in the law. But yet in our society, this is juicy, this is cute, this is something to talk about. But don't you know, if you laugh about it and agree with it, you are in accordance with it? If you don't frown upon it, then there's some level of agreement. So they make it they pass it to you in what you would call a comedic fashion. Okay. Read.
Verse 12. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law,
He lies with his daughter-in-law.
both of them shall be put to death.
Both of them shall be put to death. These are the things you might see on Jerry Springer on TV. Somebody's daughter-in-law. Read.
They have wrought confusion, their blood shall be upon them.
Go ahead.
If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman.
So if a man lie down with a man the way a man was made to lie with a woman, that's intercourse. Read.
Both of them have committed an abomination.
Now, out of all those sins, you notice this sin is being pushed to the next level. This is an abomination. This is not to even be thought about. Read.
They shall surely be put to death.
They shall surely be put to death. Don't you know, by reading this out of the Bible, it's a hate crime. Just by reading it. So who's in charge of society? If you can't read this without someone calling you a made-up name that's really not a part of any vocabulary, any dictionary, there's no such word as homophobic, okay? A matter of fact, there's no such word as, believe it or not, and we use a term just for political correctness so that people will know what we're speaking of. There's no such thing as homo sapien. There's no such thing as homo erectus. There's no such thing as homosexual. There's no such thing as asexual, bisexual. There's no such things as that. These are terms they've used in society so that you can accept a behavior. The Most High made male and female. Period. There's no in-betweens on that. Just because you desire in something, there should not be a title for that if it's against the laws of God. Just because something is in you, urging you to do something that's against the Most High God. Just because you feel is right. And see, this is what they have programmed us to believe. That it's not to hurt someone's feelings. You're talking about feelings. Back then, believe me, this ain't judging what we're doing by reading it. In the Old Testament, you were killed on the spot. So this is not judgment extending understanding of the Most High to people and an opportunity for them to change. That's not evil. That's not wrong. Well, you hurt me. What you said was painful and hurt. Listen, get out of that. Another thing. Now they putting on the news, they say, well, another gay teenager just committed suicide. You see that all in the news now. My question is, why can't it just be a teenager? Why did you have to insinuate that it was a gay teenager? How many teenagers commit suicide every day? And have you ever seen any headline? Another straight teenager committed suicide today? So why are they promoting this gay thing. I'm going to go into that a little later in the class. But I wanted to show you how Leviticus 20 covers so many areas. It covers the child sacrifice, which your elite powers promote. The sorcery and witchcraft and dealing with familiar spirits, which society promotes. Also, the spirit of adultery, which this society promotes. Also, disobedience to parents. Disobedient children, which this society promotes. Why? Because if they can get you away from your parents, you belong to the government. Homosexuality, incest, all these things is what this society promotes. So no wonder they teach you in your religious institutions not to read the Old Testament. Those laws are done away with. Now, when you read these things and hear a Christian say these laws are done away with, now you understand the state of the Christian churches today. Because you mean to tell me if these things are done away with, hey, then okay, it makes perfect sense. Why you can do anything you want now. And it's okay. Right? But it tells you in the New Testament that the law was our schoolmaster to bring us to Christ. In order to understand Christ, you must first know the schoolmaster. You must know from whence Christ came. There was no New Testament when Christ was operating on the earth. He was reading out of the Old Testament. Right? Read.
Verse 14. If a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness.
So if a man deal with a wife and then he deal with the wife's mother, that goes on too. You have a young lady bring a man home or a young man home that she liked, and the mother be eyeing the young man. That happens too. All the time. Read.
It is wickedness, and they shall be burnt with fire.
They shall be burned at the stake. So don't tell me that the Most High is not merciful and long suffering. Because these things are happening regularly in our society, and it's to a point where if you hear about it, you don't bat an eye. It's not even, we've been so desensitized to the point where you won't cringe for a moment hearing any of these things. Any of these things are normal. Oh, child sacrifice, yeah, I heard about that before. All right, homosexuality, yeah, that's everywhere. Barack Obama just said, listen, he promotes gay marriage. He wants them to do this. Yeah, you know, a guy, they crazy. You have a guy bragging, yeah, man, I was with him, her, and her mother. They'll be bragging and people be laughing and they'll just be. This is regular society. Read.
They shall be burnt with fire.
They shall be burned with fire before everyone. Read.
Both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you.
Last verse for you. Go ahead.
And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast.
Now listen to this. It says this is bestiality, another law. Now some people might ask, well, the beast was violated by the man or the woman. Why should the beast be put to death? Remember, when the Most High tells us in the New Testament, when two come together, their flesh shall become one. You actually share a spirit when that happens. So you take on the spirit of the beast, becoming one with the beast, and the beast takes on your spirit. These are things, you're joining spirits with a beast. So the Most High says immediately, you must kill the beast, and that beast will never be the same. Just not too long in law under Barack Obama, they signed a bill for American troops. If they feel they need to release tension or whatever, they got a law where it's okay for them to sleep with goats. It's okay for them to sleep with beasts. It's in the law. They actually passed a law in the United States. This is beyond don't ask, don't tell. The provision where a homosexual can be a homosexual and don't have to ask. No one have to ask, and he don't have to tell. So you can have a guy that's desiring you all up in your bunkers and all that, and have no power. You know what I mean? To push this thing away from you. Why? Because now it's in your space. Don't ask, don't tell. So now, what's going on now? Homosexuality is promoted within the ranks. And these things are happening big time, even though it's been happening for a long time. It's out in the open now. And then you have the commander-in-chief, the same guy who said that bestiality was okay. He's commander-in-chief. Same guy is now coming around telling everyone that, okay, it's okay for homosexuality, gay marriage. It's okay for men to be married. So he done took the term that came from the Creator himself and promote this to what the Bible calls an abomination. We're near the end. This is it. This is it. This is it. Finish reading. Oh, your verses are done, right? You can go ahead. Pick up 16, right? Yeah. 16 through 20.
Verse 16.
Leviticus 20 and 16. Go ahead.
And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto.
Now you have that all the time. You got women who actually deal with dogs and all those things. Cats. This is a regular thing. You think they're going to adopt a cat and dog to walk? And no. Welcome to the real world, folks. Read.
Thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood should be upon them. Verse 17. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He have uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity.
And it says his sister's nakedness. That's sleeping with sisters, like they do in certain elite circles. The Romans were known for this. And then you have this, like certain hillbillies down south in the States. They known for that.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Verse 18. And if a man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he have discovered her fountain, and she have uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people.
Now that's talking about purposely laying with a woman who's dealing with her monthly cycle. That's a spirit in itself. If you are waiting for this time to come around and say, okay, all right, this is where it's at. That's not right. And you have some people who relish in that. Like that's what they like. Now, I'm sorry that the Bible is so it's in detail, but that's what it is. So that we can know beyond any shadow of a doubt the do's or don'ts. So there's no gray areas. That's unlawful according to the Most High. A matter of fact, during this period of time, there was a place where the sisters could go to be separated during that time. So they don't even desire that. Of course, they were taken care of, manicured, and it was a rest from the house and all that. But a man knew not to touch a woman in her flowers or during her time of month. Read.
Verse 20. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he have uncovered his uncle's nakedness.
That's your aunt.
Verse 19.
Verse 19. You missed 19,
Oh,
right?
verse 19. Sorry. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister,
That's your aunt.
nor of thy father's sister, for he uncovered his
Near
his
kin.
near kin. They shall bear their iniquity.
They shall bear their iniquity. So you cannot deal with your near kin, which is your uncles and aunts. All right. Now, some people might ask, because I know the question is going to come, what about cousins? Cousins are not unlawful. Even though they're almost like your brothers and sisters when you look at it, it just don't even feel right. But, I mean, as far as even thinking about something like that. But according to the law, that wasn't wrong, your cousins. Okay?
Verse 20.
Now I'm going to show you. Now here's the reverse. Here's the reverse, what I would call programming that have happened to us as a people. Now, as soon as you say cousins, everyone looks strange, like, But examine how no one is like that when it comes to homosexuality. No, I'm just talking about even though a man, any man that knows about, how dare another man? Of course, we know that, okay, it ain't going to happen to you, but it's normal to see two homosexuals walking down the street and people don't look at it as strange. They'll just walk right by you. And, as long as they're not pushing on you, it's not a big deal. But that's how we were programmed to accept this in society. So all these things links to a God. All these different attributes in Leviticus 20 links to what it would take to worship Satan. So what I'm reading in Leviticus 20 is actually the initiations it takes for the elite to go up the ladder and get power in this society. Leviticus the 20th chapter. You must be involved in, if not all, the majority of this. Read.
Verse 20. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he hath uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless.
They shall die childless. Okay, someone pick up the 21st verse. You can go ahead, Yahweh.
Verse 21. If a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He hath uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless.
So if you take your brother's wife, right? People do that too. They see somebody, somebody may bring a girlfriend home and he's interested in her, and they call it girlfriend and boyfriend now. That's another way they have diminished the laws of the Bible. But your brother have somebody, next thing you know, she's with the other brother. Now that's normal. Ben, I seen you look, you haven't heard anything like that before?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 22. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out.
Spew you not out. To show you that if you begin to practice these things, you will be uprooted from the land. Right?
Yeah, some people try to use the scenario that happened with Judah and his sons when one of the sons died, and the Most High told the son to deal with his wife, and they try to use that as a contradiction.
How that's a contradiction? He's dead.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know.
That's not his brother's wife.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
All right? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 23. Ye shall not walk in the manner of other nations.
It says, you shall not walk in the manners of the nation. Read.
Which I cast out before you, For they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them.
He says, so you shall not walk after the nation that I brought you from out, because they practice all these things. Now, these are Egyptians. And you notice on the American dollar, they have the pyramid. Same practices, same God. So now the Most High is emphasizing all the practices. And he said he abhorred that nation. He hated them, the Egyptians, for these practices. Abhor means to hate. So yeah, so the Most High hates. Okay. Go ahead.
24. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Most High, which have separated you from other people.
I am the Most High, who have separated you from other people. Well, Christians can't read that. Why did he separate us from other people? Look at what the other people were doing. And eventually they would taint God's people. Now, I know a lot of people would like to look at the ingenuity and mathematics and science of the Egyptians and say, well, okay, that's something that we should aspire to uphold. But no, why don't you look at the homosexuality, the demoralization of a society? If Egypt was so great, why isn't it great now? Right? So a system get to a level of immorality to a point where the Most High destroys it. And that's where we are in the earth right now. That's where we are. We're in the time right now of the total of the greatest decay of any empire ever assembled in earth, ever built. And that's the place we call America. I don't think brothers and sisters know how, and I know, believe it or not, it's a distractive topic that they're dealing with over there to get people off of what they're about to do with that. They're about to move people in all types of camps and everything. So this is the hot button topic they have created to move the topic from last week. There was some news along the lines for these detention centers in which the Pentagon leaked some information of how they were looking to put people into these different camps and war against the American people. That was the hot button topic until Barack Obama came and said that, you know what I mean, he approves gay marriage. So we know what they're trying to take off the headlines. All right? We know that they're planning this big thing in Chicago. So they'd rather you talk about homosexuality. But since we're on this point, that's a deep level for a president, the first president, to openly promote homosexuality in gay marriage. And then not only that, they say this is groundbreaking. He's the first president to ever do so. Look what they're using his brother for. Now we thought we was voting this guy in. That's what blacks, I didn't vote for him, but I'm black. But our people thought that this would be a civil rights breakthrough for minorities, when this is a breakthrough strictly for homosexuals. They are the new minority. They are the bearers of civil rights now. How did that happen? It happened while we slept. It happened while we slept. Right? Finish reading.
Verse 25. You shall therefore put differences between clean beasts and unclean.
Read it again.
You shall therefore put differences between clean beasts and unclean.
You missed something there, right? The 24th verse. Leviticus 20 and 24.
Verse 24. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Most High, your God, which have separated you from other people.
Which have separated you from other people. That means you're not supposed to be like these other people. Read.
You shall therefore put differences between clean beasts and unclean.
You shall put differences between clean and unclean. You should know the difference. You shouldn't look at a pig and think it's the same as a cow or a bull. You should know the difference between something clean and something unclean. So this is on every level. You notice how the powers and the governments of this earth have promoted everything the Most High told us not to do? Everything. It's as if it's a different God running this world, right? Exactly. Read.
And between unclean fowls and clean. And ye shall not make yourselves abominable by beast or by fowl.
It says by unclean fowl and clean fowl. Like here's an example. Benjamin, give me an example of an unclean fowl, an unclean bird.
Pigeon.
Pigeons is clean.
Really?
Really?
Pigeons.
Pigeons are clean. That's clean meat.
Vulture, yeah.
Vultures, there you go, unclean. Ducks, most people don't know ducks is unclean. Any fowl with webbed feet is unclean. Eagles, unclean. Ravens, unclean. Huh? Who? Crows, which are, crows like ravens, unclean. Got that? So Leviticus, the 11th chapter, tells you what's clean and what's unclean. Right? But now it's to a point where you have to think about it. And in the law, it told us, you shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean beasts. Clean fowl and unclean fowl. You shouldn't have to think about what's clean and unclean today. See that? Go ahead, Izzo.
Verse
26 and 27. Read that.
Leviticus 20 and 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Most High, am holy, and have
Severed.
severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine.
I severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine. I don't want you like the heathens who do whatever they want to do and think God loves them. I've severed you from them for a purpose. Why? Because if you operate like these people, like we've done for the classes, past classes, they will gain power over you and destroy you. There's a worship with their practices. They're not just eating what they want to eat just because they're eating it. They're consciously dealing with things according to their God. They know everything they're doing is religious towards their God. Read.
A man also or a woman that hath a familiar spirit.
A man also or woman that hath a familiar spirit.
Or that is a wizard.
A wizard, a male witch. Read.
Shall surely be put to death.
Shall surely be what?
Shall surely be put to death.
Shall surely be put to death. Read.
They shall stone them with stones. Their blood shall be upon them.
Now, I'm looking at this and reading this. And let's compare this to mainstream religion. You'll read this and they'll be like, oh, that's barbaric. Why would they feel this way? Because, hold up, death is the penalty. Why not just do what the Most High say do And therefore, you don't have to worry about how barbaric it is. It wouldn't worry you unless you were desiring to do some of these things. See that? Leviticus, the 20th chapter, is the blueprint for the skull and bone and the elite. This is what they use to say, if we promote this, if a society is accepting this, then Satan is the god of that society. If there's any pushback on any of these, we know we got some more work to do to program these people into a satanic society. Disobedient to parents, eating what you want to, do what you want to do, sleep with anyone you want to sleep with. It's just everything. Homosexuality, witchcraft, sorcery, necromancy, dealing with dead people. They had a television show out, I think about 8-9 years ago, where this guy sat there with a syndicated show where he sit there and talk to dead people. And they had music playing behind the guy, and it was so somber. You see the women on there cry, and I'm like, this is total madness. How can you have a program of a guy on a stage talking to dead people? Even before that, they got you. Everyone laughing at RuPaul. RuPaul had his own show. A bald dude with a blonde wig on, looking just like a woman. Some people might say, well, what's wrong with that? I know if I'd have said this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when people were like, well, listen, you know what? Women were laughing and joking about it and all that. And now look. So, based on this, you know the Most High is going to send fire. It's coming. Let's go to Matthew 5 real quick. Go ahead, Santi. I need you to read, Hazel, I need you to read 3 more of these, and then we're going to move it to Santi.
Verse 1?
Yeah.
Matthew 5:1. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So what does it mean, poor in spirit?
Poor in spirit?
Yes.
Like a trick question.
It's not a trick question, it's simple.
Poor in spirit means like they don't have much spirit. Like, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but why they don't have that? You want it?
Why?
Yeah.
Got precepts and then we tell you why in this listen.
Let me give it to you here. Read the second, read Isaiah 66, go to Isaiah 66 and 2.
Isaiah 66 and 2. For all those things has mine hand made, mine hand made, and all those things have been, saith the Most High. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor,
That is poor,
and of a
contrite,
contrite spirit, and
and trembleth at my word. That means this man fears the Most High, but he's poor. Don't have much, or this man or woman don't have much, but they fear the Most High. So this doesn't mean that he has a poor spirit or a bad spirit. It means that he don't have much, but he feared the Most High, and he's contrite, he's calm, he's relaxed, he's humble. Right?
Yeah.
So even though he may seem as nothing before everyone else, he may seem as nothing amongst everyone else. Right? But he's a child of the Most High. The Most High loves him. Benjamin, did you read that? You about to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I apologize.
Go ahead.
Matthew 5 verse 4. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Verse 5.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted.
Right. Verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
So the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek are those that don't have much. Right? That are low in spirit. Read.
Verse 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Verse 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. The Most High. Verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High. Verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Read the 11th and the 12th verse.
Verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you.
Blessed are you when men shall revile you,
And
persecute you,
and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely.
and say all manner of evil against you falsely. Go ahead.
For my sake.
For the Most High, for Christ's sake. Read.
Verse 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Because they did that to the prophets which were before his disciples. So if you were telling the truth, if you're bringing forth understanding, expect persecution. Don't sit back and sulk in it and feel upset about it. Just understand that it comes with doing it. Right? You can go ahead, Malak.
Verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his savor, what wood shall be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out, to be trodden under the foot of men.
So what does it mean that you are the salt of the earth? In the 13th verse. But if the salt have lost his savor. What does it mean by that? What good is salt? What is salt used for?
Flavor.
Exactly. So he told us that we're the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savor, what good is it? Like an example I can give you is, would you put salt on your food if it didn't season your food?
Yeah.
You would put it on there anyway.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it needs that flavor.
But suppose salt didn't taste like salt. Suppose you put it on there and it was nothing.
Yeah.
Would you put it on there if it didn't flavor your food?
Nah.
No. So what the Most High is saying that our people are the salt of the earth. We're the flavor of the whole earth. We make this earth worth being in. We're the flavor. I mean, you take us out of the equation and you got Russia. Okay? And ain't nothing happening there. So the whole, what the Christ is showing you here is, okay, you are the salt of the earth. Look at your music, look at your spirit, look at your, you know what I mean, all these things that make you a child of Israel. But if you don't have lost all those things, what good is the flavor? It's good for nothing. That means you're not useful if you're not being used for what the Most High made you to do. If you like he used salt as the example, you're using salt because you know what flavor you're going to get from salt. You understand? So the same with the children of Israel. We lost what we had. So it's good for nothing but to be what? Trodden underfoot of men. And who was trodden underfoot of men? In 70 AD by the Roman Empire. Because we lost our flavor. We lost our identity. That's our flavor. And I want to put this up there real quick because you have to realize we've been saying for a long time, I'm talking about easily 2 decades who the children of Israel are. Easily. And when we first started talking about this, you had those out there totally laughing at it, mocking it, and ignoring it as some type of robe or fringe so-called religion that would pass. Right? Now we get to a point where they can't shut it up. The whole earth is finding out at once and they're trying to stomp it out. Now that everyone cannot dispute it and people are now going back to their institutions, to their schools, back to their families and talking about it. So I say, okay, now it's time to put the hammer on them. Let's get those emergency, they call it emergency camps. Emergency housing. Let's get that emergency housing working. It's time. It's time to re-educate. That's what they call them. Re-education centers. So what's wrong with our education now? I was thinking about that, linking into what's going on in the earth today. The powers of how they operate. What's wrong with our education now? Why do you think they need to re-educate now? Any of you? Huh? We found the truth. It's time for re-education. Their education would work fine if we were still asleep. So this is what happens like when they go into a foreign country, like they came amongst the North American Indians and slaughtered many and re-educated the children to accept those who slaughtered their family. They're at that point again. They are now at that point. Like we went to Willie Lynch last week to prove that it was a 300-year period, which was what, 1712? It was 1712, right? Mm-hmm. Willie Lynch introduced it in 1712. They knew that the program would last 300 years. Now we're in 2012. So they so they knew that they would be at a point of re-education, that the brainwashing of Willie Lynch would dissipate. So it's re-education time. Chapter and verse. Finish reading.
Matthew 5:14.
Matthew 5:14. Read.
You are the light of the world.
We are the light of the world.
A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and to give it light unto all that are in the house.
So some people have the light, but they want to hide their light.
Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works.
So you must put your light on a table so that everyone can see the works that the Most High is doing. Read.
And glorify your Father which is in heaven.
And glorify a higher. Don't be afraid.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Don't even put it in your mind. Now Christ is saying, listen, don't think that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets, the Old Testament. Read.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
I've come not to destroy, but to do what?
But to fulfill.
But to fulfill what was written in the Old Testament.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
That means the law will stand until all be fulfilled. That means the law stands. The Old Testament stands. Everything we read in Leviticus 20th chapter, according to the Most High, stands. Okay? The angels are recording the sins of man and the deeds of man based on the law that was written. Read.
Whoso therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
So if you do and teach the commandments written of in Scripture, you shall be called the greatest when Christ returns.
For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So our righteousness must exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees and the scribes.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
Read, Lawyer, I need you to pick up the 22nd verse. Go ahead.
Verse 22. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah.
Rakah. This means fool or vain fellow. You know how sometimes you look at someone and because of the way they act and whatever the case is, you call them fools and all that? You're not supposed to do that. Read.
Whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the judgment. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Verse 23. Therefore if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift.
So this is speaking of prayer. We go to the Most High to pray for things we need. But yet we won't forgive our brother. So Christ is saying, well, listen, don't go and pray for something until you first reconcile with your brother first. How can you expect anything from the Father if you are not right with your brother or sister? Read.
Verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him.
And this is the key point right here that's going to get us through what they're about to do to us. Read.
Agree with thine adversary quickly.
agree with thine adversary quickly. That means when they set up these guards and these checkpoints and these nihilists and these sick officers who are taking these jobs, read.
Whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge.
So when they pick you up from one of these checkpoints, or you're going through a checkpoint, or whatever these guys say, agree with and do. They have your life in their hands. They can decide to let you walk through or bring you before the judge. So if you try to get snotty with these people, talking about I'm an American citizen and da-da-da, and I got rights, you're going to be the first people they move to the next step according to Christ. Let's see that next step.
And the judge deliver thee to the officer.
And the judge will deliver you to the officer. You know who they is, your internment officers. Read.
And thou be cast into prison.
And thou be cast into these re-education camps. These internment camps. These what they would call emergency shelters. Now the difference between these camps that they have and prison is that if you are poor, there's a great chance you'll check in and won't check out. A great chance. Why? Based on some of the numbers that came from the leaked document of government. They need to get America down. They need to kill 25 million. They have to kill 25 million. That's their number. So if you are in their hands, brothers and sisters, you're nothing to them. Seen the other day, showed these cops who I think it's a 1 year anniversary or whatever the case is, these cops who came out and put all their weight on this one guy and beat him to death. Laid on him and beat him to death. And they screaming out, don't restrain, don't restrain. And the person don't even have the power to restrain, but this is what they put out there. Knowing that there's people are filming now. So they say certain things so that they can spin their story in the report. Put their weight on this guy and beat him to death. And the guy was screaming and hollering and just beat him dead. There's no recourse. There's no repercussion for this. These are the people they hired. Read on. Read on, Lloyd.
Verse 26.
Go ahead.
Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence, till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing.
It says, thou will not come out unless you pay the uttermost farthing. I notice now they set up these so-called checkpoints, quote unquote, for DUIs to find out who's drinking. That's to get you acclimated to checkpoints. Alright? They have nothing to do with DUIs. They run you through the system to see if you got warrants and all that. They're not checking, just having you blow in something. They running names. They want to see who's in the database. So if you want it for court, something, any type of warrants, they're taking you in. These are checkpoints, not no DUIs. They've already acclimated them in society. Do they have them in the UK yet?
Yes, sir.
They have them? Supposed to be for drunk driving, right? They acclimating this. Seen something this morning. where in elementary school, they rolled this out in elementary school. You know, they have to use usually minority or a mixed race school. They have children now that they're acclimating into the system. Their parents can come put the money on the books at the school. And now they don't have to worry about being bullied or getting their lunch money taken from them. They just scan their finger and it deducts from the amount depending on what they get. And it deducts from the amount your mothers put on the books. What's that? That's commissary. That's the jail. You go put some money on commissary on one of your brothers or sisters that are locked up, and now they got money to spend in jail. It's commissary. So they're getting everyone acclimated to the camps. They're about to do something, brothers and sisters. It's going to happen. But I don't want to go too far because I want to cover that a little later. Read.
5 verses.
No, if you finish reading.
Okay. Verse 27. You have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
And it's all, that's what Christ is showing, because first it's conceived in your heart before it's materialized. And the way this system is promoting provocative sexual enticement or seduction, it's almost impossible not to break this law Christ is bringing forth here. Now, why did Christ say, if you look upon her, you have already committed that? Anyone?
Because when you look at it, you're actually trying to go after her.
Yeah, but why is it? Why how are you committing adultery? Huh? 9 times out of 10, especially in our system today, she's probably dealing with somebody. You understand? There's a good chance that's somebody's wife. And if the opportunity afforded itself based on what you conceived in your heart, you would do it. So it's not just the act itself, it's the idea that's formulated that bring you to the sin. Right? So what did they do? They focused on the women, and every year or so they come out with new type designs that will entice you or endear you into the spirit of seduction, to be seduced. Like they got these new things out now where the women have, where it's one shoulder now. Part of the fashion is you coming outside with one shoulder bare. That's something that happens in the house where, you know, one shoulder coming off. And you know eventually the other shoulder comes off. So now this is what they do. They acclimate these things in society to the point where you think it's normal. But you have a round table. Read. That's another thing. That's what you have. You have homosexual style and all your. They got on brothers with tight, skin tight jeans on and all that. Yeah, this is what you have if you put on homosexual clothes. So all these things are with the law. Right? Read.
Verse 28. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Go ahead.
Verse 29. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out, and cast it from thee, for it is
That if your right eye offended, pluck it out. We know that it's not a literal, you taking a knife and cutting your eye out or cutting your arm off. So what is this saying?
Well, this specific example of adultery, it would mean don't go to the situations where, women are
To destroy or take down that member that's causing our whole body to sin. So we focus on the one part of us that are doing certain things. You understand?